great 4G devices, but as you know, only one can be the champion in a phone dogfight. How's it going, guys? Aaron from PhoneDog.com here, and I have two 4G devices from two carriers, the HTC Evo 3D and the Samsung Droid Charge. The flagship Droid, arguably, on Verizon's network goes up against the flagship Android device that's 3D to boot on Sprint. So you have the Evo 3D over here, Android 2.3, HTC Sense 3.0, 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor, and then you have this bad boy. While it only has a single-core processor and still running Android 2.2, it has Verizon's very, very fast 4G. Which one's the best? Which one's going to come out on top? We'll find out in the dogfight. First, special thanks to our buddies at Best Buy. They hook us up with so many phones that we give to you in the One Paw Bandit game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile to get either of these, you won't deal with rebates. You'll walk out without any messy paperwork, anything like that. Enough of that. Which one's the best? Web browsing time. We'll load up the web browser on both of these so you can get an idea. And this is something, or a place rather, where the Droid Charge just smokes the Evo 3D. Now, to get into the dynamics of network coverage a little bit, this is running Verizon's 4G LTE network. So it has, it obviously utilizes 3G as well when 4G is not available, but it's utilizing in my area, the Charlotte metro area, 4G LTE, which is available in several other markets. Now this is running 3G. It does have the capability of running 4G as well, and we can I can show you that in just a bit. But unfortunately, Sprint's 4G coverage does not work inside. And the reason why, not to get too nerdy on you, but the reason why is because WiMAX runs in such a high megahertz frequency, 2500 megahertz here, 700 megahertz for 4G LTE, and the lower the megahertz, the better in terms of penetration into the various buildings. So that's something to keep in mind. The lower the better. So if you're in a building a lot, or you're in somewhere that's a tight area, or you're in several rooms, you're probably going to have a better luck, or better time rather, with LTE on Verizon than you are with WiMAX on Sprint. So two 4G technologies, but you can see PhoneDog loading up over here. It's loading up over here as well on Sprint's 3G. Sprint's 3G has been experiencing some trouble in my area. The speeds have been a little slower than normal, but that said, it seems like it's loading up at the moment. Now you can see that Super AMOLED. Let me see if I can get it closer to the screen so you can see. And it's not really doing it justice, but I mean, absolutely beautiful display. And overall, this device just looks good. It feels good in the hand, and the display is incredibly easy to read, and there's little to no lag when it comes to web browsing. So pinch to zoom, very responsive, no checkerboarding whatsoever on this device. And then when I go over here to open a new window, you can see it brings up a preview of the page. I can click a new window, and then I can go back to PhoneDog. Now, one of the limitations of this device is going to be really frustrating for a lot of people that browse the web. You have a limitation of 4 windows that can be open at any given time. So I go over here, new window, I go over here, new window. I go over to open a 5th window, you're going to see the new window button's grayed out. I can only have 4 windows open at a time. Needless to say, I think that's kind of stupid, and that's something that isn't present in TouchWiz 4. So if this device ever does get updated to TouchWiz 4.0, hopefully that'll go away. But you can see overall pinch to zoom, very responsive, and I've turned off auto rotation, so let's do that. So you can see, very responsive with little to no lag whatsoever. So even though it has a single core processor, it's running relatively quickly. Now this isn't fully loaded yet, but you can see despite the fact that it's not loaded, pinch to zoom is very, very responsive. Now you can do the same thing over here. This is something these overlays have really done a good job with. They've made it look aesthetically appealing, if you will. You can see over here, go to Windows. Same thing, brings up a preview of the page. You can load up some other page, which I'm not going to because I don't want to hog the connection. But you can see here, go back to Windows and bring it right back up, and there's PhoneDog still loading away. So you can use it in portrait or in landscape. And again, very quick transitions. And overall, this device is very fast, and it's faster than even its nearest competitor, or nearest brother, if you will, the HTC Sensation, probably due to the 1 gigabyte of RAM that's pre-installed as opposed to 768 megabytes. So all in all, it's reasonably fast. I see lag from time to time, which makes me wonder why a dual-core device is doing that, but still, it's not enough to be concerned. But again, pinch to zoom, very quick there, no checkerboarding whatsoever. And I can scroll up. Now, again, the Achilles heel here has been Sprint's 3G, and all the time I've been working with this, here and in a couple of different markets, I've been having trouble with Sprint's 3G. So you can see overall the page loads quickly, and the pinch to zoom works great on both of these devices. I don't know why I just turned that off, because we want to go into messages and take a look at the keyboards on these various devices. So we'll go to messages here, go to messages, We're going to do a new message, and somebody actually brought this up. I'm going to go into this in just a minute because I'm going to cover your Twitter questions, but I want to cover one of those right now. Somebody asked me on Twitter, why the brown color scheme? I don't know. You know, they do a different color scheme, or they do various color schemes with all of their devices. The Samsung Infuse 4G, for example, is different than this one, and the Captivate's a little bit different than that one, and the Epic 4G is a little bit different than that one, etc. But they went with kind of a mocha brown color scheme, brown and orange color scheme. Again, with anything like that, it's going to be love or hate, and that's something to keep in mind. But this comes with several different keyboard options. You can see here, it comes with Samsung's keypad, and it comes with swipe out of the box. Now, Samsung keypad, not my favorite, but it has improved over past versions, which we saw in the original Galaxy S devices. So we'll say the Quick Brown Fox is hungry. Quick Brown Fox is hungry. You can use it in portrait or in landscape, and again, it's a big 4.3-inch display, so it's relatively easy to type on over here as well. So you can see over here, now this one's the one, if you want to type in landscape mode, this is the one to get because it's a long display, 540 by 960 pixels. So you have two options here as well. You have swipe, and then you have HTC's touch input. By far on Android, one of my favorite keyboards is HTC's keyboard. It's fantastic. The autocorrection is fantastic in most cases. I was going to say, I knew when I said that I was going to have a spelling error. The Quick Brown Fox. Fox is hungry. Then I can scroll it or pop it over here in landscape mode and use it like this as well. The Quick Brown Fox is hungry, and use it like this. So you can see pretty easy there. And then you can also enable kind of a swipe-like functionality on the HTC keyboard as well, so you can use your gestures and swipe back and forth between the keys. That's pre-installed. And that came with the latest update, which they pushed to the Evo 3D pretty recently. So now I'm going to take some of your questions on Twitter. Somebody wanted to see the 3D content on this device, which actually was Halo Ruler 64, which asked about the horrible brown theme. And then Dom Hunt actually wants to know which display looks better. The Super AMOLED Plus display on the Droid Charge looks better. It's a noticeable difference. And they're both high resolution. They both look fine, don't get me wrong, but there is a noticeable color difference between this one and between the Evo 3D. And also, I forgot to cover while I'm in here and thinking about it, just to show you some of the briefly some of the apps that come with it. VCast apps, Backup Assistant, BitBop, Mobile Hotspot, My Verizon Mobile, Rhapsody, Rock Band, Slacker, TuneWiki, and then VCast Media, VZ Navigator as well, and then some stuff that I've installed. So it's not too bad on the system bloat. Amazon Kindle and All Share on there as well. So not too terrible with the bloatware, but that said, it can't be uninstalled, whereas all the bloatware on this can be uninstalled. That's something Sprint really listened to their customers and decided to allow them to remove it. So you can see here, okay, yeah, I want to see the 3D performance. So I'm going to go in here and show you some of the 3D. You're not going to be able to see it in the camera, but I'm going to flip it over here to 3D, and we'll bring up the Sensation box, for example. Happen to be over here, and it's showing in 3D, and you can see when I slide the display, you can see the transition to prove that it's actually in 3D. But I'm going to scroll out a bit and take the picture. And you know, as a lot of people have said, it is headache inducing. This is a stereoscopic display, meaning you don't need the glasses to view the 3D content, but you can see there's the 3D effect. And overall, you know, it's pretty decent provided you hold it exactly the right way. If you move it an inch and it's the wrong way, you're going to get a headache in about 5 minutes. So something to keep in mind. So the 3D, overall, the content is pretty good. Now that said, it's a 5-megapixel camera and 2D. They're dual 5-megapixel cameras. So when it comes to 2D pictures, in comparison to the Droid Charge, they're decent. You can see pretty easy to make out the Sensation box there and the effect, or the various text on the box, but it's no comparison to the 8-megapixel shooter on the Droid Charge. Just looks much better, very clear, and let's do that so you can see. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful image. There, even scrolled in, just looks much better. And it is a noticeable difference. So if you're looking for still pictures, you're looking for 2D shots, Droid Charge is going to be your phone. If you're looking for 3D, obviously this is the only one that does it out of the two. So the Evo 3D would be your phone. So let's see, let's scroll through here and say, I'd like to know what you use for your hair. Defy is the name of the gel that I use on a regular basis. Let's see here, does the superior screen tech on the Charge make up for the lower resolution? I mean, yeah, the screen looks better. If that's what you're in day-to-day use, I would prefer to use the Droid Charge as opposed to the Evo 3D, the way the screen looks. So which one has less lag, Evo or Charge? The Evo 3D has a substantially less lag, and it's noticeable from everything. When you're scrolling through the menus to when you're pinching in the menus, you can see the differences there, and you can just see the speed difference. See if I can do it at the same time. You can see the speed difference there. There's less lag on the Evo 3D. That said, most people aren't going to notice the lag on the charge if you're using it for regular tasks. It's only going to be when you're just opening a ton of apps at once or doing something really graphically intensive. That's when you'll notice the lag on this device as opposed to the Evo 3D. So Evo has less lag. That said, the charge isn't unbearable. So let's see, which phone turns on faster? That's a good question. And actually, I'll do that as my sign-off because I want to do a quadrant standard score test before we sign off here. And we'll do those, and then I'll do the power quadrant standard, run. And call quality has been a mixed bag. Call quality on the Droid Charge has been fantastic. This has been one of the best devices I've used just as a phone. In terms of call quality, in terms of earpiece volume, and in terms of battery life, the Droid Charge blows the Evo 3D out of the water. I mean, the earpiece is decent on the Evo 3D, but it does suffer from some reception issues, and battery life isn't the best. I take this, I have the Nexus S4G and several other Sprint devices, and even when I go to a Sprint dead spot, the Evo 3D performs noticeably worse than the Nexus S4G and the Evo 4G and a couple of other, let's see, what else do I have? The Epic 4G, I tested that as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Phone and phone alone, Droid Charge. And again, it seems like with all these dogfights we go back and forth like that, but this is definitely an entertainment device, and HTC designed it for entertainment first. So take quadrant standard scores with a grain of salt, but you can see score here 1,866, and then over here, we'll wait here, and 968. So again, quadrant standard scores aren't always accurate, and again, they're not always representative of what day-to-day speed use is going to be like, or speed tests rather, but keep that in mind. That one wins by a landslide, the quadrant standard. So dogfight, or winner, has to be declared, and in terms of overall package, the Evo 3D takes it. I hate to, there's some issues, at least in the phone department with this when it comes to reception, and if I could narrow it down and say, hey, if I was talking to somebody that was looking for a phone and phone alone, I'd recommend the Droid Charge. If somebody wanted 3D content, I'd recommend the Evo 3D. If somebody wanted a great camera, I'd recommend the Droid Charge. If somebody wanted a nice long screen, with easier typing abilities, I'd recommend the Evo 3D. But unfortunately, you have to bring all that together and make up a score, come up with a score rather, and the Evo 3D is the winner. That said, this thing is a phenomenal device. I still think this is the best out of Verizon's current LTE lineup. We'll wait and see what it looks like when the Droid Bionic comes out. But if you're looking for a 4G LTE device on Verizon, I think this is the one that offers the best blend of features, performance, and more. So much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com. In the meantime, I'm going to turn these off while we're doing our sign out because somebody wanted to see the power on, power off. I'm going to remove the battery here, put it back in to make it fair. In the meantime, we're giving away tablets on our Facebook page. So be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PhoneDog. It's PhoneDog's greatest tech giveaway ever. We're giving you the chance to win a Transformer, an iPad 2, an HP touchpad, or a Samsung Galaxy 10.1. So keep that in mind. And then here, I'm going to turn that back on, facebook.com/PhoneDog. And be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on my personal Facebook page at facebook.com/PhoneDog. AB, so we can see here which one comes on faster, which one comes on faster. HTC Shazam, is it coming? Is it happening? We'll see. Droid, uh-oh. Fight, 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 fight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Which one's going to make it? Which one's going to make it? It's a tough call. It's a tough call. Evo 3D wins!